Hi everyone, Yellow here on my 2018 KLR 650. And I have a clip here of just an area of the Hampshire Trail up in New Hampshire. It, it's a great ride, and this is just a nice clip that I wanted to share with you all. There's a couple side-by-sides coming before I start my ride. Anyway, the piece here is I just thought it was an opportunity to, one, show you some nice footage of the trail. Obviously, well, not obviously, but it was this was taken last year, probably sometime in September or October. Just a nice ride, nice colors in the forest. And this is indicative of the type of trailhead that's really, this is where the KLR lives. This is just what it was meant for. Just a nice flat surface, not a lot of ruts. Actually bring someone with you to up and have no issue and have some fun. Of course, the suspension it would be rather soft, or is soft, but again, nothing that's too technical or strenuous. There are some parts of the Hampshire Trail that have some ruts, some hills, really kind of actually fun to come at the right time. And there may be more. I haven't run into them. As far as I've gotten between last summer and this summer is probably an hour or maybe an hour and a half from the Canadian border. So I haven't quite finished the trail. It might change and get a little more technical as I get further up. If you guys have any feedback about that or any understanding of that, that would be great. Also, if you know what part of the trail this is, that would be great too. So any comments around that stuff would be wonderful. I'm pretty sure this is about maybe the first quarter, somewhere around the first quarter of the trail. Like I said, it was from last year, and I'm learning, so I think I need to keep a little notebook or something with me just to post where I am and with what role or clip that I'm on, and I think that would probably be helpful. At least when I go back 6 months later or more, I'll know where exactly this trail was. But again, I just thought it was a nice opportunity to talk about the KLR. And, I've done some mods to it. SW Motec skid plate, SW Motec crash bars, SW Motec center stand. Those were kind of the first mods that I did on the bike. And then after that, I kind of, settled in for a little while. But one of the things about the KLR, as you all know, is it is a heavy bike, and it can be difficult when you drop it to pick it up. Maybe not so much on a road like this. One time last fall, I went into a pasture that was all muddy, and the bike slipped out from under me because I had OEM wheels, tires, and it was tough to get up because either my feet would slip out from under me or the bike would slip out. As well, or both. So what I ended up doing is I just found like a strong limb out in the woods, and just wedged it under the bike and on my shoulders, and was able to upright the bike that way. However, that was a struggle. And obviously those of you who've dumped the KLR or dropped the KLR on a hill understand what I'm talking about as well. It can be a difficult procedure to kind of get that up. Anyway, I went with that because what I ended up doing after that little pasture ride is I got rid of the OEM tires, and I replaced them with Shinko 804s and 805s. Much better ride. They still can get a little lose their tread in the mud a little bit, or a lot of it actually, depending on what's going on. But a lot of that kind of been circumvented by those tires, and I have much more control of the bike, and it's a little more predictable. It's a lot harder to slip out like that. The other thing I like about the 804s and 805s is they don't have that sort of side knob. The knob goes horizontally across the whole tire, and that's great if you want to try to spin it out a little bit. It's a KLR, it's a challenge. So anytime there's any loose gravel or anything, I'm always kicking the throttle just to kind of give it a little push out. So in that way, it's fun as well. I think I might try some other tires when these wear out, but so far they've held up pretty good, which kind of surprised me because you hear that they wear much quicker, but it hasn't been the case right now. The other thing is I got a Lex slip-on, and I had it on, but I took it off. And the reason I took it off was because I think it's like a 26-hour repacking, and I just felt that's a little too quick to be repacking your silencer every time you go out. In hindsight, I wish I had known that before I purchased it. It's a great sound. There's just no doubt about it. But anyway, I took it off. I put the OEM silencer back on. So why am I stopping here? Oh, I am going to take a picture. Yes. So I don't know what I did with this picture that I took, but I took a picture. And as you notice, the ram mount, the rubber on the bottom part of the ram mount is kind of faded and worn out already. So I've had to use like a, one of those rubber bracelets in order to keep the phone on. And actually now the top part of the ram mount, the top rubber on the ram mount is gone as well. So now I have two bracelets that I use to secure the phone. And all the rubber around those little aluminum or metal holders is gone too, except for I think one. So it gets a little slippery there. But the phone hasn't dropped, thank to the gods of Android or something. It still stays on. So anyway, to get back to the muffler, I didn't expect that it would have to repack every 26 hours, and I think I would probably look for something that doesn't require that. Something like that that's still a premium exhaust, has a nice sound to it, and maybe help the KLR a little bit. I think after that, also I got the Kojin front forks. I haven't put them in yet. Probably going to do that over the winter. Either have I will have the dealer do that. I'm not so confident about putting those in myself. At least not yet. So that'll be one change. I'd also like to get the Kojin rear spring as well. Rear spring of the whole shock, I haven't decided yet. And see if that changes the ride a little bit. Although, it's kind of like, how much can you do with KLR? I think it's not going to change its sort of ability to do more technical stuff necessarily. It'll certainly change the ride and no more of those deep diving. Every time I put on the front brake, I feel like I'm about to do a submarine dive down in the Atlantic about 900 feet. And so it'll be nice to have a little of that sort of straightened out, if you will. And the other part is, I think one of the other pieces that I'd like to do is maybe replace the brake lines with steel brake lines and see if that alone will help a little bit on the front brake. And if it doesn't, maybe increase the disc up front to a larger disc. So that's kind of the plans moving forward. Other than that, I don't know any more that I would necessarily do. It's tempting to do, the jet kit and all those things, and maybe I will do that just more out of boredom than anything, just to have some fun with the bike. Some of the videos I've seen, people are, they're happy with it because I guess the throttle response is better, but it's not like an overwhelming change. That's the sense I've gotten about that. So I think it's one of those things, you know how it is, right? You just want to kind of have some fun with your bike and make it your own and personalize it in a way, or take the recommendations of other YouTubers and other people and blogs and forums, and just see if that kind of will help drive some of that piece and notice some changes in the bike, that's part of the fun. So the adventure, the road, all that stuff kind of comes together, and particularly the bike. I think in hindsight, and trail changes here, it's just more pavement and wrapping up in a minute or two. It doesn't turn back to road again. I have some other clips that I'll hopefully share with you guys. But in hindsight, this bike works it takes me, the shortest ride I have to get to any decent trails is about 45 minutes. It works because, I got some road time before I get to a trail. And like I said, if I want to get home early, well, man, I can get on that, get on the highway, 93, 495, all those roads, 128, and I'm good. I'm getting home at a good clip. I'm staying with traffic, and the bike just keeps going. It spits out bolts, vibrates like heck, and it spits out bolts when you get up around 65, 70, and that's a story for another clip. KLR650, that the rattle is, or the vibration is something. Again, just think it's just really a fun way to explore and have some adventure. Take you on the road, it'll take you on the trail, and like I said, you can do this stuff. Take a couple of hits, couple slip outs, things like that. But other than that, the KLR is just a ball. So having said that, I hope you enjoyed this clip, and thank you for watching, and keep riding. I'm going to fade out soon. Thank you.